We can see that it's not connected. We can see that the piping in your heating system is not connected.
It is connected, man. I don't know what they...
Please address the photograph and explain.
I don't know what... Are you going to call me a liar? If you're going to call me a liar, I'll leave. If you won't let me answer the
I'd
question,
like you to explain the photograph.
I can't. I can't explain them
Because it's not functional.
That's your assumption. I can have an oil burner man go down there tomorrow because three or 4 years ago, my house was broken into, and the person that broke into it disconnected copper pipes and things inside. But at the time that was disconnected, I hired the insurance company paid. I remember now. It was Knox Oil. Peter Knox's brother is the one that rebuilt my furnace and made it right, and it ran. Now, if someone else don't call me, please don't insult me by saying that you're going to believe those pictures more than you believe this stupid old 86-year-old man. I am telling you, man, there is a functioning system. I don't function. It's like owning a car and you don't remember you own it, you don't drive it. So it looks like it's non-functional. But I do everything for everybody safely.
May I ask you a question about the deck and your means of egress? You've spoken here a lot about Christianity and your faith, and I'm curious to know how you would feel if one of Chief Pedrazi's men were killed or injured trying to get into that house to save you.
It's an insult. I won't answer that question.
It's a question. It's a legitimate question.
But I can't give a legitimate answer because I don't want anybody hurt.
Okay. Then nobody should be on that deck or that means of egress and ingress.
There have been, you see, ma'am, the problem goes back further than Hugh Ernest. The problem goes back to the town of Ayer, because that building was built in the last 35, 40 years under building codes of this town. I'm not the one that built the thing, and I can't tear it down. Mrs. Smith was wheelchair ridden, and that's why they had the inclined plane there. And that can be slippery, but I keep running.
I'm sure Mr. Schultz would entertain an application for a building permit for you to properly rebuild the deck.
I don't have... my income is $603. I live on $603. And because my income is so low, the United States Marine Corps gives me, or up until last year, they gave me $366 a month to supplement. So it brought my income up to $1,000 a month. And most of that I give away to other people that are struggling with opiates, struggling with alcohol, and struggling with their health.
I understand your mission, and
but
I respect that.
If you don't understand that, you don't understand Hugh Ernest. Take the house. I don't care. But it's going to be less place for people to live. And that's fine. Because I make nothing. Right now, both houses, those two houses, and my house in Littleton, we go to court on tomorrow morning, which is a huge house. I owned that, my family and I owned that for 45 years. Mm-hmm. The house up on the hill, 128 Washington Street, is a reverse mortgage. And so the mortgage company that mortgaged it for me about 8 years ago is paying all of the expenses on the house except the homeowner, the property insurance. I pay that whole $80, I think, a month. I pay the housing insurance. But the mortgage company pays the taxes. They pay the mortgage payment, or what would be the mortgage payment, depending on whoever they pay it to. They pay, and that's it basically. and there's no in the water bill, they have and will pay that, or I will be able to pay that. There is no one at risk in that home. I want to put in. Yesterday, the animal control officer called me and said she had a place for the dog to go. And I said, no, I want to keep her because she helps me. She helps me walk around. She kind of pulls me when I go walking. And so she was all right. And then she found out that the man that did kind of owned it was not going to be coming back. Probably found out from the police department. So he won't be coming back. But then she called me this morning, and I was very grateful she did, because she said she had a place for Rosie to go. And I was grateful. In the last few hours, I can't tell you how heavenly my home is without having to take care of Rosie too. And the dog feces that is there, I pick it up as soon as I have it. I have powder there to put on it. Now that's done, and heaven has returned to my home up there as far as not having to take care of Rosie. She's a lovely dog, a totally friendly dog. And when I go out of the house, she barks because she wants to go with me. And I'm babysitting or dog sitting the dog because the man is home. Was leaving alone up at the William Street house here and would bark. So I went and started babysitting. I was going to get rid of her before, but and so now Rosie's gone. I will be able to, if I can stay there, I will have a woman and her daughter come in, and they'll do all the cleanup for me. A woman that lives right here in town. I've talked to her about it before, and I can have them there tomorrow, and we can start doing all the things that are necessary. I think it's easy to say that I've never lived in a mess in my life, and I've never had a messy home. It's only happened since I came to Ayer here, when I had the people that couldn't control their use of the street medications, that I call them. Oh, just as a note, I've never been drunk in my life. I smoked about 3 cigarettes when I was about 10 or 15 years old. I don't smoke, I don't drink. My second wife of 25 years, she did both, and she died in 1999 at the age of 56 of cancer, and it was in the family. And I failed to get her help for alcohol. I got her down at Emerson Hospital, but when I took her down there, she couldn't admit that she had an alcohol problem, and so they wouldn't help her or me anymore. So that fell, and then I went all through the 90s, 94 to 93 to 99 till she died. I went through taking her to chemotherapy and finding help for her. And she had 5 beautiful children that would be taking over things.
Let's get back to what we were discussing here today.
The question about, we can prove in one day that there's a working furnace there. And whatever pipes are disconnected, I don't know. There were more than one oil tank there, but there was no reason. The last time Mr. Knox was there, it worked, and I imagine that I could probably go up there now and turn on the electric switch, and it probably would run. But now the mistruths that have been told, there are 3 working the radiator kind of heaters that are in the kitchen, the bathroom, and the first bedroom, the corner bedroom. There are 3 of those types of heaters. They keep the house warmer than the oil heater, the oil furnace that's there. The heaters do better than that. When we walk in my kitchen door, which is the only door that you can generally enter with, they blast you in the face, and all of this is these little electric radiators. I can do without those by putting in a new form of paneling that cost me $149, It's a piece of plastic. It's only about 15 years old, made down south. I'm going to have those in whatever, if I ever have any houses left. I will be putting those in every room in their thermostat, so when you want heat, you turn those on. They wouldn't be a central heating system. They're totally legal. And I've used electric heat in all of my houses for years now. And if you want to be amused by something, because of the nature of the people I have living within, because of my nature of life, National Grid has furnished me and in the house up here about $75,000 of electricity in the past year. We just talked with the collection agency tomorrow, and they said they won't call me anymore. And so the whole heating there is free. So how could I possibly use electric heat? And those radiators I use are absolutely safe. There's no danger to anybody. And if there were, I wouldn't use them. I'm not unkind, I'm not stupid, I'm not ignorant. My college work has all been engineering. I won't endanger anybody's life because of sad houses. And I'm surprised 2 years ago this was all resolved with the former building inspector. And the house that I've had in Littleton are fantastic.
Well, we're not talking about Littleton right now. We, right here in this room, are talking about your property on 128 Washington.
But if you and all of your associates don't understand my dedication to people, I can't answer.
We're not discussing your dedication to people.
If you don't do that, then you don't. Then just tell me to get out of here and go away.
That has not anything to do with what we're discussing today.
No,
today we're discussing
what you did.
No, we're discussing right now 128 Washington and what our health agent, our building inspector, our fire department, and our police department said when they went up there.
At the bare minimum, before I take the town to court, I think it would be wise on the part of this group and those members of the staff of the Littleton reported to other people that if you take the house away, if you close it up, whatever you do, there are some bigger problems that I won't describe to you because you don't have any right to know them. But there are people here in town that know some bigger problems, that if the town takes that property, that this board will set up situations for the town of Littleton, the town of Ayer, that are going to be shocking. And so I will only indicate that to you. I will try to protect you because I will fix anything in the house. I will fix anything that needs to be done. My son will be able to loan me money. The things, I don't have anybody living there, even though there are people that could, but I won't let anybody live there, not even the dog now. I'm glad she's gone. For her safety, I suppose. I know, and I've been told before, and I know it's not true, the deck is unsafe. I know that is not true. It's not in good repair. But when you own a house, right now, this is important. When I was given the house, no one told me that the state of Massachusetts had a claim against the Smiths for $335,000. The state of Massachusetts had a claim against the property of Mrs. Smith. They spent $235,000 to take care of her last 11 months of life. My lawyer.
Okay, but we don't care what the state. No, we don't. We're not discussing Mrs. Smith. We're discussing you and 128 Washington.
But you don't. If you're not a holistic and Christian woman, you will be able to acknowledge that a man that does what I do will do anything to make that house safe. But I've got to have the money. I live on $1,000 a month.
So you said, yes.
Okay, and I get free. And where do I get the money? I give most of my money away that I got. I can do all the work that needs to be done there, and I've got people that are now at William Street are going to start working on the house because they want to make it obvious that the house is going to be livable for them. And there are townspeople that are living there. I don't do it for Hugh Ernst. I don't do it for my son and daughter. I don't do it for any person that's related to me. And if that doesn't mean any impression to any of you women or any of you people here, then what the use is there to try to be a Christian? I don't understand.
Mr. Ernest, I don't believe there's a requirement for any town official to be a Christian.
I don't
If
either.
that is your faith,
I don't
that's
either.
fine.
But we have to behave Christianly. And that is different than being a Christian or a Catholic or a Muslim.
We have no mandated religion in this town. This discussion is completely out of order.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Ernest?
It is out of order to express my religion. You're going to...
It is out of order to address whether or not this board fits your worldview of an appropriate religion. Yes, that is completely out of order.
I'm not of an appropriate religion. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian.
That's interesting. I think we have
Mr.
you.
Ernest, can I ask you a
All
question?
right.
Did you say that you own other properties?
I own the property here,
Yes.
the two properties here,
Okay.
and the house is sitting empty because Bank of America hasn't settled with their company, or Ditech now. They are holding $300,000 in unpaid insurance because of the damage done to the house.
That's the Wilton house?
The little
Okay.
11-14 Taylor Street.
So are there any others that you currently own?
I don't own any houses.
Okay. I was just
I
asking.
got my name on them, but I don't own them, and I'm using them to help other people. And there's a difference between someone that tries to invest in property to make money and people that run. I've got 3 nonprofit corporations, and I don't use any of them. They're all overdue on 3 of them, if it will amuse you. One is Hugh W. Ernest Incorporated. Hugh W. Ernest Incorporated. Another one is Keep It in the Family, Inc. Keep It in the Family, Inc. They all are way back in the 1980s. I owe probably $300 on each of them. $300 on each one, and so they're dormant. I was going to do that a couple of years ago. And the other one is, it's Alcohol Amnesty. Alcohol Amnesty Incorporated. It's to help apologize to people like my wife and others that are caught up in alcoholism and can't do anything about it, which you all probably know some. I know one now. It's my fiance. She's an alcoholic, and she can't stop it. And she was raised here in town in our school. She went to school right across from my house. She's now up in Fitchburg, and she was coming to drive me down here today, and she didn't. She has been an alcoholic since she was a small child. Some men here in Ayer, and wherever she was, got her pregnant.
Okay, Mr.
But
Ernest,
they are my children. They
Yep.
are the children for that house. And so the need is there. I have already said I will fix everything in that house that needs to be done.
You said you have your name on other houses. How many other houses do you have your name on?
What do you mean I have my name on?
Well, you said you don't own any houses, but you have your name on them.
What do you mean?
I'm just
This
repeating
was
your
your
words.
statement just now.
Yeah.
Just
So
3?
you just have the 3 houses. Okay. And so
All
you're-
the others have been gone for a long time.
Okay.
And I've pretty much been gone. And people have joked about it for the last few years that your problem is you're not dead. It's been said to me in Ayer, and in Littleton. Oh, Hugh, your problem is you're not dead. And I had police come to my house 2 days ago. And because of something that someone said over the phone, the police came there to my kitchen door, and I stood there with the door open, talking to, they said, Mr. Ernest, we understand you threatened to hurt yourself. You threatened to hurt yourself. which I hadn't done, but I was talking to Massachusetts home care. I was talking to the protective services on that, and the lady, and I can't think of her name right now, she heard me talking to the officer, and she asked to talk to the officer, and she told him, that no, Hugh was not in any sense of going to commit suicide, and so they agreed and left. But if you want something that's insulting about me or from me,
Well, we don't want anything insulting.
No.
So
No.
your
Okay.
son that you
Interesting
mentioned,
insult.
who's going to loan you the money to do the repairs, does he live locally?
he does not. He lives out in Hartford, Hartford,
Connecticut. Okay.
Hartford,
Do
Connecticut.
any-
He has property.
Okay.
His name is Nathan. His last name was changed when his mother and I separated back in 1974, 75. It would have been, I think. His name is Nathan Skinner, which was my wife's maiden name. And so he's Nathan Skinner now.
Do any of your other children live locally?
I only have 2 children.
Okay.
I have some what do you call stepchildren.
Okay.
My second wife had the 5 stepchildren. They're all up in New Hampshire or in Townsend, out that way. And they are ages, and this is my second wife. She was pregnant when she was 15. Her father forced her to marry the man because he was a music teacher up in Townsend. And he only had a 2-year college degree, and 50 years ago it had been found out he had a pregnant teenage daughter. So he forced her to get married when she was when she just turned 16. She had her first child. Then she had 5 more children. In 6 years, she had 5 children. And when
Okay, but Mr. Ernest,
So do you have a
that,
relationship with any of those children?
I can talk to them, but I haven't seen most of them since their mother's funeral in 1999. If this isn't important, then nothing is important about my life. If you're going, I said everything about it. The furnace functions, but it's never going to be used because the electric heaters are 1,000% safe until I can afford to put in these square. If I had a ride down, I might have remembered to bring. But I've been out shoveling an hour and a half yesterday and an hour and a half today, simply to get from my street or from my house to the street. I had to shovel because the snow's that deep in my legs, even though they're somewhat stable. I am an unfortunate victim of the United States Marine Corps, and it's important, ma'am.
but you told us that. You told us that
but
already.
you're not listening,
Oh,
ma'am.
we've heard you.
But
Yes,
I've got to respond to it, that I am doing things that need to be done. I have said, how many times have I said, I will fix everything that needs to be done there.
Mr.
Isn't
Ernest,
that important?
So, Mr. Ernst, where are you going to go until the repairs are?
I don't think I've got to go anyplace because the repairs, we'll get another inspection done in another way. That house is totally safe to live in. And I don't know, if you put me out on the street, it's going to be bigger than the crime that was committed by the police officer a number of years ago that put me in jail. If you take the vote, which 2 years ago when we were in Superior Court, this same case could have been made. So the question is going to be, why is it now that you are going to attack this person? I don't know where I'll go. I have no place really to go. If you take both of these houses away, I theoretically have no place to go. But you're going to not, when we get to either house, you're going to have to deal with the mortgage companies on this, not me. Because they are the ones that have done things. Maybe they'll pay. I don't know what they'll do. I only think, I guess, a minute at a time. I don't think way in advance. What I am doing is what we have been taught to do as a democracy. We're experiencing this in Washington, D.C. right now, the things that are happening down there. So if you vote me out of the house, I don't know. I'll sleep in my car maybe, and that's been happening to me. Maybe I'll just sleep in the car.
Can you
It's
go
pretty
down
cold.
to Hartford and stay with your son?
What?
Can you go down to Hartford and stay
I
with your
can't
son?
possibly do that because my work is up here wherever I am, because this is not going to stop with this hearing here. This is going to go on beyond this, because I'll get insulted if I say something more, some of the other things I'm working on. So I have answered you. I will fix the things. I will dispute. We'll go to court. We'll do whatever, or get another inspector, other inspectors, and make up for all of the things that are in that report that are not true. That house is totally safe. I got rid of my pretty dog.
You told us that.
I know, but
Let me speak a minute. I have complete faith in Mr. Schultz. One of the best things the selectmen did, in my opinion, was when they hired him. He's done an excellent job here.
when
Excellent.
you did what?
When they hired him, he's
Hired
done
who?
Mr.
Mr.
Schultz is sitting right over
I
there.
don't know who these people are.
Well, he spoke
He's our
here.
building
But that doesn't
commissioner.
He's
mean I
our
know.
building commissioner, and he's doing a darn fine
But
job
there are
for this
mistakes
town.
in the things that he wrote that
Oh,
need
I
to be
don't
corrected.
believe so. I have complete faith in what he put there.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's fine. So do I. Why wouldn't I? Except that the building inspector for the last 20 years has been there. He's seen he's got permits that have been gotten, the electrical work, the house okay. The house at Washington Street, I didn't know it was in that bad a situation when it was given to me.
I know, we've already discussed
So,
Madam
that.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
have you heard everything you think you
I
need
think
to
we've
hear
heard
at this
it
point?
all
Okay,
twice.
so why don't we move on from 128 Washington Street, and you'll have an opportunity to address the conditions at the other property as well.
May I ask you then, is it your interest, and this has been going on for more than just a few, may I ask you, do I have the expectation that when I go home tonight, if I walk home, do I have the expectation that your action tonight is going to be termination of my being able to live in that property with all these statements that have been made that need to be challenged? I need to challenge. I will challenge, and if you want to stay all night long, I'll go through each one of those things, and I will show you, and I will bring engineers and Board of Health people, or professional health from some of the state agencies and others. I will prove that every one of those things that's on that list, and for the other house too, are not legitimate complaints to put us out on the street. They
Mr.
are not legitimate.
Mr. Ernestine, I have one last question for you on this property, and that concerns the debris that is surrounding the building. I believe the town has had many discussions with you about this over the years. Do you or any of your nonprofit corporations have any immediate plans to remedy that situation?
I had it almost all rectified up at the other house,
No.
up at Washington Street.
Washington Street, we're talking Washington Street.
I had that almost all solved, but I have the audacity to help some other people. You all, most of you
So
know
you didn't
Bert-
remedy the situation?
I did, but then it keeps coming back again. And because I haven't been able to I was in the hospital last October 3rd to October 7th.
It's
And I
now
couldn't do it.
March. It's now
I am-
March. Is there any reason why we still have that
Because it's come
amount of
back.
debris?
Okay, then, you won't believe, anybody could be as stupid as I am, but when Benny Bancroft died a year and a half ago, he's 2 years younger, when he took that over, his two daughters were trying to get things cleaned up. So every week, I go and pick up the blue bags there. I take care of the trash for Benny Bancroft on Pearl Street. I'm cleaning up the backyard. I bring the blue bags home. Then I repack the trash in the blue bags into, I divide the trash up into recyclables and trash. The blue bags get used for the trash, so I don't have to buy those. The recyclables I put in the plastic bag. I dump those in so they can be recycled. And so the blue bags that they would have seen there on at either house, they all came from Benny Bancroft. There must be about 15 now. I shouldn't do it
Why aren't they going to the dump?
because I'm not taking them because I've been sick, ma'am. I haven't taken them. Now since February 1st, but they are in bags.
Okay.
They are in bags. They are in the wintertime that you came on a day in the middle of the winter.
I didn't come, sir. I think it was Ms. Braley that you're having.
Whoever come. Yes, I admit they're there, but I get rid of them myself. I can have them gone. What's today? This is Thursday. On Friday, from both houses, all the blue bags and the other bags gone. Because I'm not having it, I'm getting my friend to put my car back on the road. She was going to bring me down. She didn't make it. Benny Bancroft's daughter, as a matter of fact, if you want to know.
Mr.
And
Hennessy, the
I
reason-
am going to get the trash gone. I asked Bridget, how long do I have? And on the paper, she wrote 30 days. And so it was a lie then if it wasn't 30 days. If you rescind that, give me the 30 days and I'll have both properties immaculately clean.
The reason I think this is pertinent is that you have had years to remove the debris from that property. You do not have a very good track record
Oh,
of
I do.
acting quickly on things
I
that you
do have a
promise.
very good trash record for all of you.
Not that I can see.
have, well, that's your seeing, but that's not the truth that others see. And now there's hardly any trash up to the others except
Okay,
her
all
trash
right.
now.
I think we've heard all that we need to hear on that.
No, because I think I hear other things being said to me that I'm not
enough.
going to repeat.
Enough.
The trash will be gone. And I have a man up there now that says his father can get us a big dumpster, a 30-foot long dumpster, to get rid of the trash at the William Street house.
Well, right now, we're talking about 128 Washington.
And there is not a lot of trash there. If you will tell me what the trash is that's there,
I think we can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
there's a 1.1 acre. I can't see anything there. And then,
Okay, Madam Chair,
Yeah.
we've been at this for about an hour now.
Yes, and I
we
think
still have
it's
another
enough.
property to go.
Okay.
I would suggest that
now,
you
you are
close.
using information against me that is,
No,
what is the trash you see?
It's right there.
That's not
Right there.
trash. That's not trash. Those are my mattresses.
A mattress that's left out in the elements is trash.
But it's not causing anybody any trouble.
Yeah.
It's there.
okay,
Okay.
They can be gone too right away. But I'm trying to
Mr.
find
Hennessy,
something.
please.
I can't see what you're referring to as trash.
Mr. Hennessy, through the chair.
I couldn't see it.
Okay, that's fine. They're gonna move on, and then they're gonna go to 14, and you can respond on 14.
Do
Okay?
you want to let the other people speak? if they
Well,
want
we're
to?
gonna go through the chair, but you have any last thing on 128 to offer?
I am,
On 128?
yes.
Okay.
I'll
This is
simply I can't say it enough that I will clean up everything that needs to be done there and have someone come inspect it. If those mattresses are considered trash, I'll pay to the dump.
All right.
If that's what you consider trash.
Okay.
And then the blue bags and the real stuff,
Okay.
that can be gotten rid of this Saturday. I can get rid of all of those Saturdays.
So through the chair, the Board of Health is now going to deliberate. So when they'll come back, they're going to deliberate now, and then they'll ask you to come back on 14 Williams. You can stay but they're all set.
So,
If you take a seat, and they'll have you come back up on 14.
So Madam Chair,
Yes.
through you to members of the Board of Health, now is your sort of opportunity to, discuss the violations and to consider, what you may want to issue as an order. I have prepared a sample motion that you might wish to consider. So there are really, two things that you need to find here. The first is, are there violations of the sanitary code that are such that the premises are unfit for human habitation and should be condemned? And if the answer to that question is yes, then should you issue an order that the premises be vacated and secured? Alternatively, you can find that there is no violation and no action needs to be taken. Or something in the middle, you can find that there are violations but that the premises are habitable, and you can issue an order to correct those violations within a certain period of time. So those are the options that you have in front of you. As I said, I've prepared a sample motion for you. I suggest you discuss that amongst yourselves, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Questions from the board?
Not so much questions, more comments. My concerns are that we're putting, Mr. Ernest or anybody in that property has the right to call fire, police, first responders. I think that we're putting those people at risk by putting them potentially in a situation where they would have to go in to take care of someone in there. And I think that we're exacerbating that, or perhaps Mr. Ernest is exacerbating it by having all of these space heaters with combustible materials. So I feel as though we're setting up a situation that is, it's a tragedy waiting to happen. I'm also very concerned, and this is why I mentioned it, about the trash and the trash situation, because I think that establishes some history for us in terms of what the homeowner is able to or willing to do when he has already been instructed to do similar things, and not much has happened there. Anybody else?
No,
have any?
I agree with you, Pam, but where it says numerous violations have not been corrected, it's not, it has a history, it keeps happening. Whether or not he's able to fix any of this at this point, I think it's beyond that.
I'm thinking that what makes the most sense is to condemn the property in terms of anyone residing there. Perhaps if workmen need to go on the property to clear trash or to repair the furnace, or that sort of thing. That I could see allowing someone on the property for that purpose, but I would say not for habitation.
So there
Would be
is
my opinion.
If we could revisit this and we would be able to live there if all of these things are met, which seem such a huge undertaking.
It does,
And
but I
whether it has
suppose
means or
Mr.
not.
Ernest, you could win megabucks and decide to pour it all into that house. But I don't think it's fit for human habitation the way it is now. And I think absolutely the trash and the refuse in the yard must be cleaned away. It's just not fair to the neighborhood.
No.
So if I could, for the board's information, in the state sanitary code, there are certain conditions that, if present, are deemed to always materially impair or endanger the health and safety of the occupants. And some of those conditions are failure to provide heat or improper venting or use of space heaters, shut off and or failure to restore electricity, gas, or water. Failure to provide toilet and maintain sewage disposal system in operable condition. Failure to provide adequate exits or the obstruction of any exit, passageway, or common area, including by garbage or trash, which prevents egress in case of emergency. Any accumulation of garbage, rubbish, filth, or other causes of sickness, which may provide a food source or harborage for rodents, insects, or other pests. Roof, foundation, or other structural defects that may expose the occupant or anyone else to fire, burns, shock, accident, or other dangers. Failure to install electrical, plumbing, heating, and gas burning facilities in accordance with accepted standards. Failure to provide smoke detectors. Okay, so these are all conditions which in and of themselves would render a premises uninhabitable. As you can see, there are numerous, if not all, of the conditions present here. So what I would suggest as an order, if the board is willing to entertain it, is that you do find that the premises are unfit for human habitation in order that they be condemned, and that you order that the owner vacate the premises within 24 hours, that the owner secure the building by boarding all doors, windows, and other openings, and that the property be posted with no trespassing signs, that the owner dispose of all the junk and debris and the exterior of the building within 7 days, and that all remaining code violations be corrected within 30 days. And as you suggested, if there are permits pulled, workers can certainly enter the property for purposes of making repairs, but no one can live there until this board certifies in writing that it's safe for them to do so.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. You put that very well. All that he said.
Well, Madam Chair, perhaps you want to make a motion?
I do. I move that the board declare the dwelling unit at 128 Washington Street unfit for human habitation based on the existence of the conditions which may endanger the health and safety of anyone living there. The dwelling unit at 128 Washington Street is hereby condemned, and the owner shall vacate the premises within 24 hours of delivery of written notice of this order. The owner shall secure the premises by boarding all doors, windows, and other openings, and the building shall be posted with no trespassing signs, all within 24 hours of delivery of this order. The owner shall remove and properly dispose of all junk, refuse, and debris from the exterior of the property within 7 days of written delivery of this order, and the owner shall correct all other violations of the state sanitary code within 30 days of delivery of written notice of this order.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, so that closes our proceeding as to 128 Washington Street. We can now move on to discuss 14 William Street.
Did I ask to speak something when I asked to speak something?
We're going to go to 14 Williams right
We're going to
now.
discuss 14 William Street. We're going to proceed in the same fashion.
Do you, as human beings, have no spirit of humanity that you look at this 86-year-old senior citizen without any compassion at all as to what this does to a person who has dedicated this house and my whole life to helping other people? You want to help people by helping me. If you say that you're going to put me out of my home there because you say it's not safe, this is the crime of the century for my life if you think that by this vote, that you solve the problem for the people of the town of Ayer, and then just go on and assume that you've done the democratic right thing to do for a veteran.
I think it's possible, Mr. Ernestine, that we have more compassion for you than you have for yourself.
Thank you.
I don't want to
Thank
see
thank
you or
That's
anyone
fine.
living in these
But now,
conditions.
where are your minds, are any of you going to invite me into your home?
Yeah, we should,
Miss-
we need to.
through the
All
chair.
right, we're gonna
Are
go
any of
to,
you
we're
gonna invite me
gonna,
into
no,
your
we're
home?
gonna go to 14 William Street right now, so we would start.
Okay,
But we're not done with
Yeah.
one
Yes,
million.
So,
yes,
Mr.
Yeah.
we're going
Mr.
to 14 Williams right now. We just finished 128 Washington, we're gonna discuss 14 Williams
Then
right now.
will you make an appointment for me to come back to talk to this Board of Health immediately after this meeting? Then I'm going to request that you set aside for me an appointment. I think I'm entitled to more than simply a short shift that I'm having to live with some lies that in that report and some of the other things that are lied about. I'm going to have to suffer.
Mr. Ernestine, told you once, I have complete faith in Mr. Schultz, and I do not feel that he is a liar. I have faith in our Board of Health agent. I don't feel she's a liar, nor our fire chief, nor our police personnel.
But I
We're
am.
going now to 14
But I am a liar,
William
then.
Street.
Then you-
14 Williams.
You labeled me as a liar then, so thank you. That's the worst opinion I've ever had of my life, that I'm a
Okay,
liar.
we'll start with 14 Williams.
Bridget, will you take us through your involvement with the 14 William Street property from when you first were made aware of the conditions there?
So I was made aware of the conditions at 14 William Street by a visiting nurse. She was seeing a patient at 14 William Street. She indicated she had some serious concerns for her patient as well as other individuals living in the home. I spoke to her and asked her to have the tenant or tenants possibly call me to get into the home so that I could do an inspection. She indicated that she had done that. I had waited a couple of weeks to hear back. I did not hear back. As in 128 Washington Street, I went to the Ayer District Court and obtained an administrative search warrant based on her report, and an inspection was conducted on March 13th for 14 William Street.
Okay, and who was present during that inspection?
Mr. Schultz was present from the building department, Chief Pedrazi from the fire department, Lieutenant Gill from the police department, myself, and at 14 William Street we also, I did bring the town nurse with me as well, Tamara Bedard.
And what did you observe during your inspection at that time?
14 William Street was considerably worse than 128 Washington Street. The inspection revealed, again, a lot of debris outside, trash, just as you can see, just stuff, I guess, debris, trash, refuse, piled in different locations throughout. Again, building materials. Moving on into the house, just again, deplorable conditions, evidence of leaks, chipping and peeling paint. This is the bathroom, which does not have a functioning tub. I am not exactly sure how many people reside in this home or what the situation is. It appears to be a rooming house. I think there might be 8 people living there, possibly more than that. As this picture indicates, so this first floor, I don't know how many people it serves. I know of at least one man, possibly 2, that use this particular bathroom that does not have a tub. The fixtures are broken, so there's only a sink and a toilet that's accessible to them. It's in deplorable conditions. The ceilings, walls, floors. That's the kitchen floor. The bathroom's to the right there. And as you can see, the floors, walls are in poor condition. There is no functioning heating system in this home either. It is serviced by space heaters only. The basement is filled with debris and junk. Space heaters are placed throughout the basement, I think, to keep pipes from freezing. So again, the basement is just filled with complete fire hazard. There's wires hanging everywhere. There's two separate buildings. Both of them appear to have electrical issues. Wires are hanging from ceilings, running under carpeting. Again, space heaters throughout. That is the heating panel, which shows that obviously it's not working at the time that I went in. That kitchen area was, I think, around 48 to 50 degrees. That was just the kitchen. That's just showing evidence of leaks underneath the kitchen sink. Again, at 14 William Street, I just essentially had to go through walls, windows, floors throughout need to be replaced. Carpets were torn up, soiled. Again, going back, there was a lot of clutter inside, mattresses inside. No smokes or CO2s where needed. Exterior of the home was in disrepair. Common halls and floors were in disrepair. Means of egress in the basement blocked. Asbestos pipes in disrepair in the basement. The basement stairs were in disrepair. There's a separate entrance that appears to be apartments for maybe 3 other units that I don't, so it's a completely, I think, separate entrance that doesn't have kitchen facilities available. I think some of the tenants might have refrigerators in their unit, but that particular section of the house does not have a stove. And again, it appears that, and I checked with the town, it appears that he's running this and collecting rent from tenants as a rooming house, but there's nothing documented that it is a rooming house. But with the number of tenants and sharing of facilities, again, we don't know exactly how many people are staying here. Some of them seem to come and go. So we did have them served, and the police, from their report, they were able to serve, it looks like, 5 people personally, and left a copy of the inspection report and the notice of the emergency hearing on everyone else's door. So it's tough to say, but again, this particular house is in considerably worse shape than expected. And again, the main concern is the lack of heating facilities and the temporary wiring. Wires seem to just, in one of the units, there was a burnt out electrical switch in the bathroom. That was the I think, 2nd floor apartment in the front, separate entrance. So
how many rooms are you aware of?
1, 2, 3. I think I'm aware of possibly 5, but there were rooms that we couldn't get into that had padlocks on them.
Yeah, it says, you made a note, 2 rooms not accessible.
Yeah, there might have been more. It was just, walking through a maze of.
And aside from the bathroom with only the sink and the toilet, did you observe any other bathroom facilities?
Not in that section of the house. There was one tenant that let us into her apartment. There was a bathroom that was specific to her unit. But other than that, no.
What was in that bathroom?
A toilet and a shower and a sink. And then there was a second building that had, I think, if I remember correctly, 4 possible bedrooms and a common kitchen, and that had a bathroom. That was separate, separate second building.
So there's 2 buildings on
2
this
buildings.
And they're connected inside?
They're not connected.
No,
They're 2
okay.
separate.
Okay.
And this is this listed somewhere as a rooming house? Or were there permits issued for occupancy by people?
Not to my knowledge. He never. One of the tenants did indicate that he was paying rent to him. I don't know what the.
And what did you observe the odor in the buildings?
I mean, it's just not not a pleasant odor, especially in the basement of 14 Williams. There was a strong smell of urine indicating that animals were getting in, but I did not see any animals.
Okay. Anything else you think the board needs to be aware of?
I'm just extremely concerned about the lack of heating in this particular house, and I think Charlie will hit upon it in fire when they do their presentation, but this heating system is in poor shape. It does not appear to be any means for this to get up and running in a reasonable time frame. The entire house is in disrepair. So
What is your recommendation?
my recommendation is the board condemn the home.
Questions from the board members?
I'd like to hear what the building
Yeah,
inspector
I
has
like
to
to
say.
hear Charlie.
Charlie Schultz, Building Commissioner, Town here. Okay. As you know, I accompanied Bridget in the fire department, and police department on the 2 inspections. So 14 Williams Street, the home is listed as a one-family residence. Upon inspection, we learned that the rooms were being rented out to non-family members and that there's an accessory building on that lot that is also being used for rentals. In all, I believe there are 7 rentals in the main home and 4 in the accessory building, which would bring it in violation of the IRC and the IBC, as we have never received a permit to operate as such. Furthermore, I can find no record of a permit for the conversion of the accessory building into a residence. My own opinion, it was a garage and it was turned into rooms. There's an egress in the front, and if you go to the back, if you flip through the pictures, that brown landing is an egress for the back side of that, which is probably 2 to 3 inches out of level, and the stairs are propped up on cinder blocks. There's no proper footings for it right there. You know, it's leaning back into the house. There's no safety railings, even if it was a legal accessory building that could be rented out. It will not meet the egresses. It's unsafe for any public safety, emergency, fire rescue, and even the residents to be using that as an egress.
Gotcha.
Furthermore, there's, again, debris and trash strewn around the yard, as at the other address. There's, as you can see, you can go to the wiring pictures. That's typical of the wiring in the home, which is, of course, is a fire hazard, safety hazard. It's not to code. On the exterior of the home, it's exposed to the elements, so you can see that corner there, the siding is all broken off. And there's other areas, and there's pictures I took from inside the attic that you can see light through the gable ends, and that's through the chimney where there's water coming in. On our inspection, the furnace was not working. Possibly could it be working? If someone worked on it, maybe, but during our inspection, it was not working. And part of the requirement for the building code, when it comes to heating, we do the last sentence. The installation of 1 or more portable space heaters shall not be used to achieve compliance with heating with this section. So you're not supposed to have portable heaters. They're a fire and safety hazard. And they were all throughout the house. Some of the egresses in some of the rooms were blocked. We couldn't get into all the rooms because some of the doors were locked. Stairs going into the basement weren't to code. There was a railing on the 2nd floor of the main house on the interior that there was absolutely no safety railing. It was just a newel post, and it was going down a flight of stairs. There's a deflection in the roof of that accessory building that's probably about 4 inches, which is, it's starting to come down structurally. It's not safe. So, on the basis of my inspection and the safety of the residents and the emergency personnel, I'm going to recommend that the residence and accessory building be condemned until all the corrections have been made.
Any questions? No. Thank you. Chief?
Robert Petrossi, I'm fire chief in the town of Ayer. We did an inspection.
Yep, oh, sorry.
We did an inspection on the 13th with the building commissioner and the Board of Health. I'm along with Bridget that this building is far worse than 128 Washington Street. I don't know if it can even be repaired. There's non-functioning heating units. There was several space heaters throughout the building that were in contact with combustible materials. I can read you the fire code on space heaters. And it's the NFPA code, it's NFPA 1. The authority having jurisdiction shall be permitted to prohibit the use of portable electric heaters in occupancies or situations where such use or operation will present an undue danger to life or property. And I'm the authority having jurisdiction in this town, and I would not allow any of those space heaters to be used. They're not safe. Mr. Ernest seems to think they're 1,000% safe. They are not. They're one of the leading causes of fire. I have to totally disagree with him there. There's no functioning smoke detectors in the residence. At one time, there was a smoke detector system. You can see they've been taken down. There's several places. The upper left-hand picture is an electrical socket that's in the main building on the upstairs left-hand apartment that's completely burnt out. There's several extension cords. The picture on the top, right where the pointer is, those extension cords come from one apartment. It looks like they took part of the trim off and ran the extension cords up through the wall and into another apartment. The bottom left-hand picture, it looks like there's several burn holes in the carpet in the bottom floor room. The next picture in the middle of the bottom shows open electrical wires with extension cords run out of the electrical boxes. The bottom right-hand picture depicts an electrical switch with no cover on it, so somebody could get their hands in there and get electrocuted. Can you go to the next picture, Carly? That picture is in the bottom floor apartment where Mr. Fell lives. Behind the bags of trash is a bureau that's blocking the second means of egress out of that apartment.
There's no windows in that?
Not in that section.
Okay.
I don't know what else we have there. But that, both buildings, I had some pictures in there showing the gas meter. I don't think those are all the pictures that I had in there. The outbuilding, as you want to call it, the one that had the 4 units in it, is fed by natural gas. That meter is locked out by the gas company. The meter's shut off and there's a gas company lock on the meter, most likely for non-payment. That 4-unit building did have natural gas heating units that were fairly modern that had been shut off, so they can't be used, so they're using the space heaters for the heat in that. But that building did have primary heat not that long ago. As far as the renting of the rooms, if it is determined to be a rooming house, the state fire code means that that building would have to have a sprinkler system in it as well as a fire alarm system. It's Mass Law 128, 26H for rooming houses, and it was accepted in the town. So, to me, there should be no one living in that building. I'm surprised we have not had a fire in there from the conditions I've seen in there. I've been doing this for 40 years. My 40th year, it's the worst that I've seen.
And Chief, have you issued any orders to your personnel with respect to responding to these units?
Just the caution because of the trash that's around them and in them, but if there's a fire in those buildings, there's still people in those buildings, we would go in those buildings.
Board members, any questions for the chief? Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else from
Thank you.
the town's inspection staff at this point? No? Okay. Mr. Arisi, would you like to address the board with respect to 14 William Street? I think the board is sort of aware of your background and you know why you've done what you've done, and I think this is now sort of your opportunity to address the conditions at the building, if you wish to.
The conditions that are there in the house now are 50-75% better than when I bought the house 20 years ago. It was a 6-family home when I bought it. For a reason I don't fully remember, I reduced it down to a 4-family home. And the two buildings are connected. They are one building. They look like they're two buildings, and structurally they are. But because they are joined by the water system, they're joined by the hot water system, they're joined by the sewerage, they're joined by the cable. I give cable, I spend $400 a month for cable for the people there. The houses are joined by the roof between the two, which is sufficient under code to be that. Since I've owned the house, I've had an electrician rewire the whole house, both the main house, and I think you must have seen, maybe not, seen the fuse box in the carriage house. It's a brand new fuse box. And down in the basement, right under the front door, there's a brand new fuse box, circuit breaker box, high quality, something I couldn't do, even though I've wired many houses in my lifetime, when you didn't have to have licenses to do everything. But I haven't done any of the wiring there. It's all been done by an electrician from Littleton. So it is safe, better than it was when I got it. There were, I think, 6 meters on the house when I got it. Now there are only 2. And they're all approved. The gas meters on the carriage house, no, they weren't turned off because of non-payment. That was years, I've got 10 years, I forgot when we stopped using the gas, because I don't think gas is safe. I had people in college, elderly men and women suffered in Rochester, New York because of gas. I don't like gas. And so I can't remember myself. My brain isn't too good on this. I don't remember whether I had that gas put in there, so we'd have gas out there, the 2 heating units out there. When I got the house 25 years ago, the carriage house had 2 apartments in it, and the front house had 4 apartments in it. There was 6, and I can't remember quite the sequence I broke them down into, but it is not a lodging house. It's a 2-family house that has the principal living unit, and then each of those units have 3 bedrooms. So it's a principal living unit on the first floor between the 2 buildings, and the first floor is an apartment, and then 3 bedrooms. In the upstairs is my bedroom in the middle of the house upstairs. One of the doors you found on the right across from Mary's room is my apartment, and no one lives there. I keep it, so if I And so that is, and then I would love to have the carriage house go, because for about 7, 8 years, oh, maybe 5 or 6 years, no one living out there has paid any rent. I've got one man, an African American from North Africa. He owes me at least $10,000, probably more than that now. He said he's going to give me $50 this week. Paul Dudu, and he's been disabled. He can't hardly keep a job. He's a big, tall African American man, and he's been saying he's going to move. I've been saying I'm going to ask him to move, and I haven't. And then another man that just died in his bed about a year ago. He owed me $10,000 to $15,000. He never paid any rent at all. Some of you would know him. He just died in bed, and his folks came out and buried him about a year ago, I'd say. So that room is back. And those of you that might know the Murray family, I don't know whether you do or not, Mary Murray has had 3 of her children living in, or she is the upstairs front apartment. She's there, and but then she had 3 children that have lived there since this all got started back in the year 2010. Her 3 children, ages about 7. Well,
Okay, but
two of them are in jail
Ernest,
right now,
Mr. Ernest,
and they haven't paid any rent.
okay, but we're not discussing your tenants or the rent. We're discussing.
I am discussing them because what's going to happen to them if you go and put them out on the street. That's what I am discussing with you,
We're
man.
trying to
How many,
discuss.
can I ask, Madam
Yes.
Chair, through
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
How many people are living there right now?
Correct.
There are 3 people sleeping there but not paying. They are not my guests, and I can't. I'm not going to get them out unless if you can find out how to get them out. That'd be fine.
But how many people right now are living
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 people there now.
That's all at
That's all.
14.
And me.
Your apartment, but there's 5 people living there right now, is what
That's right.
you're saying.
That's right. 5 people living there. There are some that are squatters there, and Mary Murray's sons, 2 are in jail right now in programs, and the daughter comes back and stays there. She's not supposed
Well,
to.
how many squatters are there?
3.
In addition to...
3 and then 4 that she's in and out. She's living with a black African-American drug dealer out in Fitchburg. He just got out of jail, so she's back out with him now. And their mother lives there. The mother and 4 children, 1, 2, 3 children live there, and only the mother paid. And so I gave them generously. And if you think I don't have any money to spend on things, I don't.
So,
And
I
so
just want to know how many people in total live there right now.
there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the main house.
In the main house, okay. How many in the
There are
carriage house?
3 that are trying to be legitimate and live there, and then Mary's daughter pops in and out whenever she damn pleases. If the door's not unlocked, she'll bust it in. And so don't you get any sense at all that I'd love to have this all stop? And so if you are the ones that will get it to stop, and help me, stop it. I could go on. I'm working on some international projects now that I do much better.
Through the chair,
Yeah.
Mr. Ernest,
Yes.
Mr. Corbo, Attorney Corbo has some other questions. Let's focus on
Okay,
those.
well,
Yeah.
I'd like this to be done with this. I'd like to be able to go
Okay.
home someplace at night
Okay.
and not
So-
have to deal with this.
So we think there are 9 people who live there altogether?
They don't live there. They are there.
They're there, okay.
And I've been told by a lawyer of the Middlesex Sheriff's Office that all I have to do is give them a piece of paper and say, you are trespassing, and they have to go. A year or 2 later, I still let them stay. Because I work for nothing.
Have you given them the no trespass orders?
No, I can't. I can't do that.
And are you collecting rent from any of them?
No. Oh,
No.
once in a while they give a few dollars, but nothing compared. And one of these men, 3 years ago, I drove him to Acton. I drove him 48,000 miles in 2 years. I drove him in the morning and at night. I do things that are abnormal, so if you think I'm crazy, you can look at it that way if you want to. And so I'm crazy. The police department just doesn't want me to commit suicide. They want to take me and put me in the hospital.
Okay, so through you, Madam Chair,
Certainly.
for 14 William Street, I understand that there could be as many as 9 people living there. Are any of those people here now? Okay, so I'm going to give you each a brief opportunity to address the board. Again, the issues here are the conditions that have been observed by the town inspection staff, and the issue before the board as to whether these buildings should be condemned, meaning that they have to be vacated and secured. So I ask that you come up one at a time, identify yourself for the record, and then make your remarks to the board. Yes, please.
My name's Sean Armstrong.
Sean, what?
Armstrong?
Okay.
And you live at 14 William Street?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
6 months? 5 months?
Do you know Mr. Arnesen?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he consent to you living there?
Yes.
Okay. Do you pay him rent?
Yes. For a while I didn't have a job and he let me stay there and then I was working and I paid
Okay. How much do you pay in rent?
$100
In what intervals?
weekly.
Like weekly? Okay. How many weeks' rent have you paid?
Probably a little more than half the time I've been there.
Okay.
He let me stay there for a little while without paying because
So did you pay for this week?
we pay on Friday.
You pay on Friday. Okay. So did you pay last Friday?
No.
Okay. Did you pay the Friday before that?
Yeah.
Yes, you
I don't know if I
paid last Friday?
Yes. I might have paid that. I don't remember.
Okay. What are you doing for work now?
I was working at SMC on Devon's, but they ran a background check on me and fired me. And then I was going through a temp agency.
Okay. And where did you live before you lived at 14 Williams?
Fitchburg.
Okay. And which part of the building do you live in? The main house or the carriage house?
I live in the carriage house.
And you have your own apartment in the carriage house, or do you share the whole thing?
It's a room. There's a bathroom upstairs and a stove and stuff's upstairs.
And how do you heat your area?
I have one of those, it's like a fake fireplace type thing.
Do you pay for electricity separately?
I just pay everything's included.
Okay. And are there any remarks that you'd like to make to the board?
I mean, I understand that it's a mess, like the trash and stuff, and I don't know the backstory with he's been given opportunities, but my father can help me get a dumpster and clean it out. I mean, I get things need to be done, but nobody's gonna die tonight because we live there, and if they throw it, like I don't have nowhere to go. So if you tell me I can't stay there, like I'm sleeping under a bridge tomorrow night. And I mean, I have a long history. I've been in and out of prison. I have a drug history. Like I've been clean for like 6 months. Like I'm working. I mean, all the Ayer police, they know me. I've been really trying to get my life straight, and to go and just tell me, you know, because there's some trash outside and the heat is, I mean, that's my life. I have nowhere to go. My family has businesses in their homes. I can't live there. I'm trying real hard to stay clean and do everything I need to do, and to throw me out on the street is like, what am I gonna do? I mean, I'm the one that he was talking about with the trash. Like, I'll clean the trash out. If I can't get the dumpster, he said we could do it another way. I guess there's bags or certain bags for the dump here. I don't know, but like I'll clean that out. And little stuff around the house, outlet covers and stuff like that. Like I can fix all that stuff. It's, I mean, leaves and all. Like I can do all that stuff. It's just.
Sounds like you're really trying.
I mean,
It really does sound like you're trying.
you can ask Gil. He's known me for Detective Gil. He's known me for a long time. I've been in all kinds of trouble. I've made a mess out of my life. I'm 37 years old, and like I'm really trying to get it together. And I mean, to throw me out on the street is, I mean, that's, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I hear you.
Do you have any family around here that could take you?
My family lives in Ayer, but they own. My sister just lost her apartment, so her and her whole family moved in with my mother, and my mother has a business in the house. I'm a convicted felon. I don't have no sex crimes or anything like that, but just because I'm a convicted felon, I can't live there.
Yeah.
She has an in-home daycare center, and any felonies, you can't live there.
Yeah.
So I understand completely what you're saying. We went through, I've talked to some agencies that might be able to help. We put a list together. One of them is in Fitchburg. You can contact our town nurse, and she has a name for you. It is a shelter for men, but they might be able to work with you and help you through this and maybe find you a job and get you back on. So, I mean, we do have that. If you're willing to take that, like I said, we did put this together, and I can give that to you. And they are, we did explain to, it's Our Father's House in Fitchburg. We did explain to them what's going on, so they might be able to work and help you. I know that you're making strides to do better. It's just that this particular house is not safe, and it's not because of the trash. It's because of the heat issue, the electrical issue, and all of those things require permits beyond your control. But I'm going to give you this list, and
Okay.
there are numbers on here. And like I said, if our town nurse is aware of the situation, they did contact, and I put an asterisk next to it for you.
As far as I seen some of the pictures. Thank you. As far as the wires hanging, those are all cable wires. That's from the dude came out and fixed the cable, and the reason the ceiling tiles aren't up, 'cause that's my fault. I broke them taking them down. Those aren't live wires. Those are just cable wires because he put in new cable. Like I said, nobody's gonna die by living there, and I think it's at least give us a chance to fix the place. I mean, just to go in there and be like, all right, guys, everybody out in 24 hours, like that's
How
not.
many violations have there, but I mean, it's not like we're doing this, it's a history.
I understand,
So it's
but
not like tonight we're going, boom, that's it, you're out. It's been over and over.
but I'm not aware of the history. But I'm saying that I'll do the stuff. You give a list of stuff that needs to be done, and if it's in my power to do it, I'll do it. I don't know what your dealings with
Right,
you.
but
I don't know any of
I
that.
guess the issue is that it's not really in your power to do most of what needs to be done here. I mean, you heard from the fire chief. He has 40 years of experience, and this is the worst he's ever seen. You know, you need sort of expertise with electrical and wiring, with heating systems. If it was just a matter of removing the trash, I think this would be a different conversation. But, you know, permits need to be pulled, professionals need to be doing this work. And, you know, you're saying nobody's going to die there tonight, but you don't know that. And,
Okay,
and
but
there is
I
there
do
is
know
risk.
that though 9 people, 9 people, however many is. I mean, that's just, I don't know. That's not right. You guys are gonna do what you're gonna do, so nothing that I say matters. But like,
No,
this
but
is like, it's like a slap in the face that like, I'm not gonna speak for nobody else. I'm just gonna speak for myself. But like, I'm doing everything that I can.
We
And
understand.
it's
Yeah,
like
I
every
know
day
that.
I just
I
get
can tell.
slapped more and more and more. And this is huge. Like honestly, like now I gotta go sleep in a shelter. Like,
Sean,
and I have a dog. Like, what am I gonna do with my dog? I gotta take my dog and just get rid of him? Like,
I hear
It's-
you,
Yeah, I
and,
know.
and I understand what you're going through, more than you know. And I hope this doesn't stop your success. And it sounds like you've had pretty good success the last couple of months getting your life back on track.
well, to stick me in Our Father's house with everybody that sits there and shoots heroin. I mean, that's
I I get that, but that's not your only choice. That's why you need to talk to the town nurse, that Bridget is going to put you in touch with. And there are other places besides that one place where you won't be around certain.
All them places you're around it. Trust me.
It's just gotta-
I know you can say like, oh, this place. I live on the other side of it, and trust me, I've been to programs. Every program I ever been to try to get help, I left because people were shooting heroin there. Like I just went, I got sick of it, and I did it on my own. And I've been clean for 6 months, and this is huge. And like I understand, and I respect the fact that you like she wants to help, but it's. I mean, I don't know your dealings with you, like I said, but all this like the trash. But as far as the heat, like I looked it up, and in the CMRs it says if we're not using heaters that have propane tanks or a certain fed a certain way, they're not illegal. They're all, you just plug them in. I mean, I personally bought the heater that's in my room, and I bought the heater that's in the bathroom. And I know that they're both safe. The one that's in the bathroom has a switch on it, so if it tips over, it goes off. And the one in my room, it's a fake fireplace. Like, I don't know the whole heating, but I did have my lawyer look up the heaters, and they're not illegal heat. And maybe it's not what people want, and that's great. But pretty soon, heat's going to be irrelevant. And the other stuff, I mean, the wires aren't live wires. None of them are live wires. I just didn't go in there and take them down and put the ceiling tiles back up because I broke the ceiling tiles trying to help the cable guy.
Carly,
I can only speak for the
picture
back
of the
house.
electrical box.
Yeah.
I don't know about the front house. I can't. I'm not even going to attempt to speak on it. But the back house, Yeah.
This one.
those are all.
The one you're saying, okay.
Those are like none of those are open wires, but those are the wires. Any of those wires are hanging, and those are not live wires. And the smoke detector, that's the smoke detector right there, and I know for a fact it works because I set it off once smoking a cigarette in the fire department. And the smoke detector works in the other house too because they thought it was Gary sick in his room, and they all came. I don't even know what a CO2 thing is, but I mean, this stuff could be dealt with without displacing 9 people, 8 people, however many people you said lived there.
Questions from members of the board?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Gary Fell. I saw 3 photographs that pertain to me. I have a messy room, I admit that. And I have a space heater in it, and there's trash around the space heater. I know it has to be cleared away, and I'm working on that. The second one is there was trash around a bureau, bags of it. Well, that came out of my room, and it was either there or throw it outside to increase that mess. So I decided to leave it inside till I found out what Mr. Ernest wanted to do with it. And the third one was there was a light switch with no cover on it. I replaced that light switch one night with a metal screwdriver. I've worked with electricity for 30 years, so I kind of knew what I was doing. I've been shocked before. My pacemaker's gone off, and I felt that. I was in the service, and I got shocked there a few times.
So, Mr. Fell, do you pay rent?
Yes.
How much do you pay?
$475. And as I've told Mr. Ernesty, I'd love to move to a different place, but in Ayer, they still think the Army's here. The Army used to give extra money to soldiers when they lived on the economy, so they could pay rent. Well, they're not here anymore. I can't afford the rents that they want for a 1-bedroom or a room. And this was recommended to me in 2009 by the then VA counselor upstairs. I don't remember his name. He was a Spanish American person.
Mr. Velez.
Mr. Velez.
Yeah,
He was a warrant officer in the Korea, the Forgotten War.
yeah.
I used to nag him about that all the time. So that's basically it. I mean, I can't afford to live anywhere else. I've got applications in it over at Pond Street, but they saw my apartment when I lived there in 2014, and they basically shot me down and said, no way. At the time, I had moved from a 1-bedroom into a 1-room, and I had 2 cars down on me, so everything that was in the trunk went in my house. So I had clothes, computer parts, car parts laying around my house. And just about 3 days later, I was admitted to the hospital. So I wasn't feeling too well doing that, trying to clean that place up. And they came in and looked at it and said, no, you're not coming over to where we are. Too messy. I don't blame them, but that's their rules. So that has been, I've tried to resubmit several times, but I think that has just been, that vision of what my room looked like has been carried over every time that they see my name. My mom has lived over there for 28 years. And she tells me, this person moved out, this person went crazy and they took the room. And
It's a long list over there. Yeah.
long list, but I should be on the top because I'm basically homeless and I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
I should be number 1 on that list.
You've had your name in for a long time,
Yeah.
you're saying, too.
I've had my name in for a long time, yeah.
Your mom's been there a while, I know her.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
And I've got people at Massachusetts Home Care.
Yes.
They're working with me to try and find a different situation too. Last time, I was too proud to accept any help. I've told the nurse and the social worker this time, I don't care, I'll take anything you can give me. I just got out of the hospital, as a matter of fact. On February 3rd, I was admitted to Ayer Hospital, and I passed out, and they sent me to St. Elizabeth in Boston with a major heart attack. My mom is my alternate, whatever they call it, and they wanted to turn me off, and she said, no, do as much as you can. She said they had wires and tubes going in everywhere, and I was bright red from a fever. I had had a major heart attack. My heart had stopped. So I'm coming back from that too. If I can take my meds on time. I've been a bad boy several times.
Questions from members of the board?
That's all I got. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm Frank Maxent. I've enjoyed my bachelor pad at 14 William Street for give or take 20 years now. I have a very strong sense of my personal safety. I have some credentials with respect to habitability on United States Navy combatants. And I have, over the years, acquired some feeling for the building codes and sanitary codes and so on, but nothing specific on any of them. But it is my sense, as the other fellow was saying, the code violations in this property now are sort of chronic, low level, basically, that have been this way for a couple of generations, perhaps, without causing any problems for anyone, and with diligent work can probably be corrected without any necessity of major excuse me, a major disruption of anyone's life. For example, like throwing us all out summarily. Say, as I said, if all this time there's been no particular problem, the likelihood of having an immediate problem tomorrow is very, very unlikely. So I would very much encourage the board to say, all right, there are things that need to be finished. We acknowledge that. We work on any time, just like you would maintenance in your own home. We take care of things as we need to do them, and then we work on something else that needs to be done as it needs to be done, and is obvious to us living there what those things are and how they can be addressed. So with that, and then the additional direction from the board and more specific specifications from the codes, I'm sure that we will be able to keep the place operating safely and improve the conditions apace, okay, without disrupting people's lives and throwing us all out of homes we've come to enjoy.
Mr. Maxon, do you pay rent to Mr. Arnese?
I have to be careful now. I'm on instructions not to answer any questions.
Okay.
I will say yes. I pay rent to Mr. Arnese. I pay rent. And I am understanding is I am his highest rent-paying tenant. I consider it my contribution to his mission of providing housing for people who can't afford it otherwise.
How much do you pay?
I don't think I should answer that. Sorry.
Members of the board, questions? Questions?
Mr. Maxon, that being said, and you're saying now, well, we can fix and we can do the upkeep and everything. After looking at the photos, after hearing what you just said, how did it get to this point? And now you're telling the board, oh, we're gonna fix it now, we're gonna fix it. We can work together, we can get it fixed.
It's all a matter of perception, I believe. These things we live in every day, and we know that they're not constituting any particular hazard to us or inconvenience or whatever. And what you see today may look very unsightly to you. What some pictures you might take of your own property from the back porch or whatever might seem unsightly to someone else.
I'm sure.
But so
That's not the only issue, it's the codes, it's the unsanitary conditions. How does it get to this point? And it seems like push comes to shove, everybody's saying, well, we can fix this, we're gonna work on it, we're gonna do this.
then I don't believe there's any. Apparently, the sanitary code has a definition that covers a lot more than sanitary. But in terms of health, sanitation, and inspection and all that sort of stuff, I don't think there is anything unsanitary about the property. If it were, I wouldn't be living here. I'd certainly correct anything about that myself. I'm perfectly healthy. When I close that door and is now in my own world, snug as a bug in a rug, healthy, not my health isn't being impaired in any way, and neither is it by my neighbors in the coming off these same apartments in the same hallway. There's no concern whatever, as far as I can know, about sanitation in the sense of health and pathology and that sort of thing. There's nothing to be concerned about. People that I notice that people have buying things like these, oh goodness, what I'm trying to say, the hand soap that's specially formulated to be sanitary and that sort of thing. I don't bother with that, but I notice the many others have. So if you're using the term sanitation in terms of health, in terms of contagion, in terms of whatever pathologies, I don't think there's any concern whatever in this building.
What about the heat?
Excuse me?
What about the heat?
The
And heat.
heat.
Warmth.
I'm completely comfortable
You're
with
warm enough?
that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. I mean, I think that's part of perhaps a good example of something that falls under the sanitary code that you might not think of as sanitation,
Well-
but is necessary to maintain good health.
But one of
Have
my
appropriate warmth.
projects during the summer relates in some way to the heat. There was an outside window that most of the glazing had come off, and I don't know what was holding the panes of glass in to begin with. But I totally reglazed that window, and then someone had put a combination storm window over that, and I went ahead and buttoned it up more snugly to make it warmer. I have put plastic for the winter over my windows to make it even less challenging, but I was doing just fine with it than before. This just made it all that more better. And in terms of my my adage or whatever watchword, tread lightly on Mother Earth by making the apartment more energy efficient, less heat energy required to heat it.
Okay.
Other questions from members of the board?
No.
Thank you.
Are there any other tenants that wish to speak? No. I'm asking for any other tenant if they wish to speak for 2 minutes. I thought there was.
I have one more comment. I have one more comment.
Certainly.
I think there was at least 3 units that we didn't get into, so we don't know the conditions in there.
Good point.
I do have that marked down, thank you.
I'd let them come see my apartment upstairs. If you want me to, I'll move to the Washington Street house.
We're going to speak to this gentleman, please, sir. Have a seat.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, good. Oh, no. Glad you came.
Good evening, sis. I heard on the 13th you guys sent some notice. I was there.
Sir, what's your name for the record?
Oh.
For your name?
My name is Paul.
Paul? Last name?
Dodu.
Can you spell that?
D like a dog, O-D-O-O.
Okay. Thank you.
On Monday, on the 13th, I'm leaving to Worcester in the morning around 10 o'clock, and I saw you guys was there. So I went back to scab my leg, and I came back. I saw a notice on the door. So I called Mr. Hennis, and he explained to me that what did they say, and I said, you are the landlord, at least you hear what they say. So I just walked down today 16, say 5 o'clock, I was here like 5:20. So I'm here upside down, whereby talking to you from a house where I live in up to 14 William. And Mr. Ennis tried to help people, but sometimes he don't listen to people. Well, he do a lot for me for quite a while until I have my surgery like 2 months now. And since last year was explaining to him that there's so much trash in the compound, he have to do something about it. You know, and it's a growing up man. You can't tune the head, you can't tune a hand or a pocket, whereby if we give him the money, we expect that where we put our head, lay our head, he have to do something for it. He don't care. If you try to say something, the answer coming to me, well, I'll do it. You will do it when? Up to time whereby we saw this notice. So I came here to hear about what you will answer about you guys. I know that it's very cold in the outside, and you guys have to know that everything whereby it came on, we try to help him to help us too, but it don't help us much. And I don't know where things are heading now. So if something possible, you guys have to give us a little time, you know. That's all what I have to say. I don't know Mr. Nis ahead, you know. I don't know that much of questions you guys asked him and what he said. Sometimes I was here before, I saw the mom over there was shouting to him that we came back. That's the way always he used to do us. And where we lay our head, we try to give him what he deserves. Yeah. And what at least he had to know that where people live, it can't be a trash. Things have to fix. Before I came there, they said, he used to bring a 40, I think, 15 by 8 or 40 by 20 by 10, 15 trash. I helped him a lot to put the trash inside to take it. But I don't know where sometimes, if we handed the money to him, I don't know where he take the money to.
Paul, how long have you lived there?
Almost a year and a half somewhere.
And do you pay rent?
Yes, please.
How much?
At least 100 a week.
Bridget, do you have can you explain the list of relocation assistance?
So what I did is through Carly's help, and I also called the Ayer Housing Authority. They have a list that they put together that they give to clients in need, and it goes through different shelters of possible facilities that can help with obtaining apartments. There's numbers there for resources for individuals that need it.
Mom, you know, sharers are drug addicts and I'm not an addict person, whereby I live in sharer. So I'll beg you guys, the committee, if you can spare us a little time, maybe 1 month or something, we know, or 2 months before the sun will rise, we know how to turn ourselves in this system. That's only whereby I can say. My whole life in America, I never lived in shelter before. Yeah. And I'm not an addict. I work all my ass here. I lived in New England almost 20 years. So I never lived in shelter before.
Another suggestion for what you're paying in rent, there might be options right at the Air Motor Inn for weekly.
Well, it's only 1 bedroom. It's like a, you know, a roomy house. So
Right, but there's heat and it's safe. There's smoke detectors. There's not wires hanging from ceiling, so that might be an option for you,
Yep.
and something that's a lot safer. And
Yep.
for what you're paying, they might be able to do something for you, and it's right down the street.
In where?
In Ayer, the Ayer Motor Inn. I mean, it's an option.
By
I'm
the
just,
shop and save.
Where is that?
The grocery store in Ayer, the shop and save.
Yeah.
mhm.
There's a funeral home over there.
Yep. There's a
Right,
hotel
but
there.
next to it, next to the grocery store parking lot, there's a motor inn, like a motel.
A motel.
Yes,
I used
yes.
to live there.
You did?
Yeah, I lived there almost 2 months.
Okay.
So I know I pay a week like 200 and something. Yeah, almost last year. Before the Indian people bought it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it might be an option temporarily, and some of these shelters might, it's not, if you don't want to stay there, they might be able to do outreach for you and find a place that's safer. So it's a pretty extensive list, and I know that you talked to Tamara as well,
Yeah, I talked to Tamara, but shelter is not in my list.
right? I mean,
I don't grow up in shelter.
I know,
I've
but
never lived in
like I-
shelter all my life.
right, but if, you know, temporarily the Ayer Motor Inn, and then some of these people might be able to help you find something not in the shelter, but you have to call them first.
Anything else?
Anybody else? Thank you.
Yeah, Tamara.
Is there anyone else who wishes to address the board? Okay, board members, you have the same issues?
Any possibility I can contribute something or not? Am I done?
No, Ruth asked to speak.
I just wanted to ask the board if you know the average rental for a one-bedroom apartment here in town, whether it's heated, unheated, electricity, whatever, so that you can compare what these people are paying or not paying to what they're gonna have to do when you kick them off. Do you know what it is?
The lowest I know of, I know that the Zodiac for a small apartment runs around $700, $750 a month.
Is that with heat or electricity? Because these people are paying everything included.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know? 'Cause
No, I don't know.
electricity can be $200, $300 a month.
Yeah.
compared to-
I believe that. If you have electric heat in the winter, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the minimum 750, whether or not it's included, anything's included, you don't know.
No.
Okay, Madam Chair,
Yes.
I suggest that the board enter their deliberations at this point. I don't know that you need to really hear any
I don't
additional
think we do
information
either.
at this time. Okay, so we have the same issues that we had before. The first issue is to determine, whether there are violations of the sanitary code that materially endanger or impair the health or safety of the occupants, such that the dwelling units should be condemned, and in order to vacate and secure issue. And you've basically three options. One is find no violations and take no action. Two is to issue a condemnation order requiring the occupants to leave the premises. And then the third is to find violations but issue an order to correct, allowing them to stay. So you can speak about that amongst yourselves, and then I can help you put a motion together when you're ready.
Okay. What is the pleasure of the board?
This is a little bit different than the first property because there's so many people at the property and so many different stories that we've heard. I am concerned about the conditions. I'm concerned about Mr. Schultz's report.
Yep.
I don't know how you could fix what needs to be fixed in such a short length of time so that these folks could remain in. It's just, to me, it's an impossible situation. Even if they were allowed to stay, how could they stay and have people working around them? It's a danger in itself trying to do that. I feel like either way, they're gonna be displaced. And I feel terrible about it, but it's a safety issue, it's a health issue, and that's what we're here to vote on.
I'm wondering if there's a way, and I'm particularly moved by Mr. Armstrong. And I understand, I've never been in a shelter myself, and I absolutely understand, because I've heard it from so many people, that if you want to run into drugs, go to a shelter. And he is just the kind of person that's doing the right things to get his life together that I just can't put him tonight into that situation of having to go to a shelter, tonight. Is there a way that we can allow some period of time for the tenants to get their affairs together, perhaps get a little bit of resources together, because you can't really move into a place without something. If you're living check to check, week to week, it's tough to get together what you need to get together. What I'm thinking of, and this is just, I'm not an attorney, so I may be totally off the wall, but it doesn't seem to me that Mr. Ernest has the right to collect rent from any of these people.
I don't.
This
That's
is
a lie.
not, okay, perfect, then
That's
you
a
should
lie.
have no argument. So, could we make some sort of arrangement where we allow some period of time, I don't know what that would be, for the tenants that are there now to get their affairs together, to decide then where to go? If they may still end up at a shelter, but at least they're not having to do something tonight. And at the same time prohibit Mr. Ernest even collecting rent from any of these people to assist with that? Is that possible?
I think the
You can
town
collect the rent if you want to, if there's.
Madam Chair.
You can collect the rent.
Excuse me, I recognize the town administrator. I want to hear what he has to say.
Madam Chair, through you, there is no question everybody is a human around the table. There is no question that this is a very difficult situation. However, that being the case, in my opinion, as the town administrator for the department heads, the fact, and we heard from the police chief and others, that the public health and public threat is imminent. In other words, there could be a fire at any time. And though it is an unfortunate situation, and though nobody's casting any judgment, I think it is incumbent upon the town, ultimately through you, respectfully, to protect the public health and the public safety of everybody, the tenants involved, and the public at large. And it's very difficult. But to afford any more time runs the risk of a fire.
It puts the town
And
at
as you
risk.
have heard,
Yeah.
when the medical response was done at 128, some
I know.
fire personnel had issues with the floor. The police chief has issued concerns to his folks about approaching it. So, as mentioned in the case of 128 and 14, there's a larger concern. It's a very difficult decision, but the public health and the public welfare of those involved and the inconvenience of a shelter or other interim thing far outweighs the destruction of a life or property that then we would have to also bear. So respectfully, it's ultimately up to the Board of Health, but to afford any more time would run those great risks.
And this isn't the first time we've discussed, especially 14 Williams. We've had discussions in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I definitely, I know that.
And this would be a 24-hour.
Same as the other.
So folks would have 24 hours to get there.
Essentially, we'd have to go back on Monday, so they would have the weekend. Is that right, Greg?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
And we
so the
did
order's
give
going to be
all-
served tomorrow.
We
so-
did let them know on Monday as well, the people that were there,
Okay.
that this was coming down the.
So they would have the weekend.
Okay.
Yep.
Right, and presumably, as Bridget said, we notified them on Monday that this was coming. People have had this week to, start getting their affairs in order. This shouldn't be coming as a surprise to anybody.
Is there any other, is there a kind of, I know we have this for reference and the list of the resources. Is there any other, I don't know how, you said that there was the town, the nurse, and is there somebody else, a representation of that we have in town that could expedite anything?
This order,
And stay in contact?
well, this order for people that can get services will expedite them.
So they would.
Anybody that can get help.
So there is no, what I mean, excuse me, there's no, I mean, because this is an emergency situation, they would expedite placement into these
If
places.
if the individuals are placeable, this order should help them. I can't obviously make any guarantees to that, but when these orders are issued for condemnation, tenants will take those to facilities. RCAP Solutions is another one. I'm not sure if they're on here, but they, that's one that they might be able to get some funding. I think it's on here. If not, I can. RCAP Solutions.
Is that housing or is that
Housing.
resource for?
It's for housing. But they have to qualify as well. You know what I'm saying? They have to do, obviously Corey checks,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of the churches might have funding available to help them get apartments. I mean, that's why this list was put together for them.
Yeah.
To help them get into a better situation, to get them out of a really bad situation. And
Yeah.
this is not just shelters. These are for counseling,
Right.
for job placement possibly. It's a whole host of things that will help them move their life
that's
into a
true.
different direction.
Yeah.
It
And,
does have,
that's true.
it covers a little bit of everything.
I would also add that, from a historical perspective, that, the reason the sanitary code was enacted was really to protect the people that you see here tonight, the people who can't afford, decent housing, but yet, need protection from living in substandard, unsafe, and unsanitary conditions. And, I'm sure everybody here remembers, the Worcester fire that happened,
Yeah.
probably quite a few years ago now. But, it was a very similar situation where, people, felt that they had no place else to go, but they were living in some place that was extremely unsafe. They caused a fire, and, firemen lost their lives as a result of that. And, the threat here is very real. And, while in the short term it seems unfortunate to have to, turn people to these other situations, in the long run, this is not a safe or healthy place for them
Yeah,
to
I
be.
know.
And they shouldn't be, put in that situation because they don't have money. And that's really what the sanitary code was designed
Yeah.
to prevent.
No, I absolutely agree. It's not a long-term
It's not that we
solution to
disagree at all.
anything. Yeah.
It's the human aspect of it, like you said, it's the,
Yeah.
and I feel helpless at that. And it's,
I know.
well, at least you have, I mean, you do have, it's like not tonight, you're not getting the hammer and.
Right. Or that's what
Have
I'm
the
thinking. Oh my
resources,
God,
have
it's
the
7:30.
weekend.
You can't go home. Yeah.
Right, no, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. But
Yeah.
like I said, this is hopefully something that can push them forward in the right direction. And as we have heard here tonight, the situation up there is not good. And there seems to be
Yeah.
drugs going on up there. According to what was said, there's all sorts of activity and people coming and going. So this will get them, hopefully out of that situation.
And we've had a lot of fires around locally. A lot of people have lost their lives. Specifically, a little boy in Lowell. Multiple families, nowhere else to go. One egress out. How did those firemen feel when they had little children of their own and they couldn't get in to get that little boy out? So
Yeah,
we have many situations
And I
been a
think
terrible year for fires.
one thing that stands out to me is, like Chief Pedrazi, I've been doing inspections for 20 years and Chief has been doing it for 40 years. And to hear him say that,
It's pretty compelling.
it's pretty compelling
Yeah.
that he goes into a situation and he does an inspection and sees what he saw. His input is just invaluable at this point.
Yeah.
Any further comments from the board?
Motion.
Okay, so 14 Williams, I move that the board declare the dwelling units on the property located at 14 Williams Street are unfit for human habitation based on the existence of numerous conditions which may endanger or impair the health, safety, and well-being of persons occupying said premises, including those described at this hearing and in the March 13, 2017 inspection report, and the board issue the following order. All dwelling units located at 14 Williams are hereby condemned, and the owner and all occupants vacate the premises within 24 hours of delivery of written notice. The owner and occupants secure the premises by boarding all doors, windows, and other openings, and that the buildings be posted with no trespassing sign within 24 hours of delivery of this order. The owner and the occupants remove and properly dispose of all junk and debris from the exterior of the property within 7 days of delivery of this notice. The owner and occupants correct all violations of the sanitary code within 30 days of delivery of this written notice.
That's a
And
motion.
that's the motion. Well,
I know. Good God, I know it's the right thing to do.
well, you have the motion.
With a very, very heavy heart. Second.
Was moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, Madam Chair, close the hearing.
Yes, and I will now close the hearing at almost 7:40.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, the hearing's closed. Right.
The hearing is closed.
But you're still here. I want to thank you for what you've done. And I would simply request, could you possibly be courteous enough and kind enough to give us a week to do all the things to get out into other properties? It's only been 20, 25 years the conditions have been bad. Would it be too much in the winter to allow us 7 days?
Once the people are out, you'll have 30 days to get over.
I won't be able to, I'll have no money. The only money I get in is from that house, and if no one's there, there's no money. I get none. I have no money at all.
You said nobody's paying, so.
I owe $1.4 million to 3 banks. I'm in debt, $1.3 million.
It's not a good idea.
You know, Attorney Corder, you should have a little room out here, or maybe a little suite somewhere. You're spending so much time.
Yes, we closed
You
it.
need to adjourn.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
adjourn, right? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn. I'm sorry. I should have done that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.